Over 172 million cases of the novel coronavirus have been reported across the world. Some reports suggest over 3.7 million fatalities. Millions of families devastated, economies reeling under pressure, and several waves across the world. Yet, the pandemic still rages. If we had prior information about the virus, could it have been possible to limit the devastation? If we knew where it came from, would we have a better understanding of how to fight it? How is it that the world's most populous country, where the virus was first spotted, has managed to escape virtually unscathed? Did they know something we did not? Hello and welcome to New India Junction. I am Richa Dwivedi and this is The Bottom Line. When we speak of COVID-19, we swiftly settle to think of it as a virus that came from bats, was probably started in the wet markets of Wuhan, and has now become a global pandemic. What if I told you that there's much more to it? A theory pointing towards the virus's origins from a lab in Wuhan had surfaced last year. The then US President Donald Trump had actually given it reasonable credit.
And my question is, have you seen anything at this point that gives you a high degree of confidence that the Wuhan Institute of Virology was the origin of this virus?
Yes, I have.
But Dr. Anthony Fauci, the president's chief medical advisor, a name we have become all too familiar with, had a different opinion. Let's look at this article from the National Geographic. But this was a time when no real evidence-finding mission had been conducted. That only happened in January this year, which begs the question, how could Dr. Fauci make such a claim? Even after a WHO team has probed the origins of the virus in China, it has claimed that they did not receive raw data, that there are major stones still unturned in their investigation. Recently, Dr. Fauci, the director of USA's National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, went back on his claim, saying he wasn't convinced of the virus's natural origins.
We feel strongly, all of us, that we should continue with the investigation and go to the next phase of the investigation that the WHO has done. So because we don't know 100% what the origin is, it's imperative that we look and we do an investigation.
Some emails have also surfaced, but we'll talk about that later. First, let's try and connect some dots. We are all aware of the severe viral pneumonia and resulting respiratory failure that causes complications and deaths in COVID-19 patients. Here is a thesis from 2013 from China's Yunnan province that examines similar complications, albeit caused by unknown viruses. In 2012, Shi Zhengli from the Wuhan Institute of Virology, or the WIV, was called upon to investigate viral origins for infections in 6 miners from a mine in Yunnan. 3 of the 6 succumbed to the illness. They had COVID-19-like symptoms, and Zhengli found a coronavirus there. These samples were taken to the WIV to be analyzed. Make a note of this. This February, she published a paper on a similar virus and its link to the novel coronavirus that has caused the global pandemic. And then, in an interview, she claimed that the virus found in the mines, which was analyzed later at the lab in Wuhan, was actually the same. This virus in question bore a 96% similarity to the one infecting millions today. In another interview, she dismissed the death of the 3 miners as those caused by fungal infections. But why did she switch the nomenclature there? Was she trying to obliterate a trail that would lead to the WIV? Further on, in January 2020, as cases of the novel coronavirus emerged in Wuhan, China, first the entire city and then the entire province was put under military lockdown. This was an unprecedented step, yet no real explanations emerged. Since then, China has reported no major surges, no subsequent waves, and no drastic measures. If the virus in fact had natural origins, why wasn't Yunnan in China's southwest part that was locked down first? This interview by Shi Zhengli claims that sightings for the virus in the Wuhan wet market were low. Yet, Wuhan entered military lockdown. Wuhan was where the virus was first seen. Wuhan was where clusters of infected people first emerged. If not the market, the only possible place where the virus or similar ones were once confirmed was the lab at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Yunnan is over 1,000 kilometers away. Do you think it's probable an infected bat flew that distance? Moreover, nations across the world have been unable to contain subsequent waves, even after the strictest of lockdowns. How did China manage to stop it with just one province? If China had unraveled a mystery, which seems likely if we consider the lockdown as early as January 2020, why wasn't it communicated to the world? Do you remember Dr. Li Wenliang, the medical professional from China who blew the whistle on a strange new virus in Wuhan? Do you remember how he was questioned in the middle of the night and made to retract his statements? Do you remember this? This report claims Wuhan Institute of Virology workers were sick with COVID-19 as early as November 2019. But why wasn't the WHO scrambling as it is now? Why wasn't Dr. Fauci in the US given this evidence? Now, about those emails we mentioned earlier. Thousands of messages have revealed an alleged link between the research being conducted in Wuhan, funding from the United States of America, and Dr. Fauci's knowledge of the same. In fact, researchers associated with the Wuhan lab had even thanked Dr. Fauci for dismissing the lab allegations. If it was just evidence, or the lack thereof, that Dr. Fauci was reiterating, why the extra gratitude? Another more alarming revelation shows that scientists wanted to look more closely at the origins as they saw some features inconsistent with evolutionary theory. In fact, this image from the alleged email actually has a scientist claiming some unusual features that look potentially engineered. Does this not have you wondering if the virus is really naturally occurring, like many claim? Did it really jump from animals to humans? What if it was specifically engineered or created in a laboratory? What if it was then leaked? Shouldn't we hold the people responsible for it accountable? China has been in denial. The WHO has shrugged all responsibility. What if they had a role to play here? If that is true, doesn't that make Dr. Fauci complicit in this catastrophe? Just to remind you, it was actually human errors that had led to the H1N1 virus outbreak almost half a century ago. And again, with the 2004 SARS outbreak. Even then, with the most stringent measures, a virus can easily infect those in its vicinity. However, don't you agree that it can only become a global pandemic when facts are hidden or misreported? This tactic often results in confusion and delayed responses on a global scale. Now, this is even more unsettling. If reports are to be believed, Chinese military scientists were discussing weaponizing a particular family of viruses called, you guessed it right, coronavirus. These reports mention a paper published on the same in 2015. Frightening, isn't it? It may be a loose regulatory framework that caused this pandemic. It may even be the release of a potential bioweapon. however unintentional. But don't you think saving lives is more important rather than saving face? India has seen crores being infected, over 3 lakh deaths, all without any closure. Could we have managed to save them if we knew more? We are still battling the second wave. Fatalities are still touching 2 to 3,000. And yet, why is there still no information on the virus's origins? A country that miraculously saw no waves and no surges, even when infections were first spotted there, has nothing to add to the global discourse, except, of course, denial. How did the virus not spread across the world's most populous country? What are these measures that are so effective that not even a single country in the world, except of course China, managed to replicate it? Why are renowned scientists from across the world still not convinced about the origins of COVID-19? Is it possible that this was an engineered disruption? Indian scientists have asked us to prepare for a possible third wave. Countries in Europe and America have already seen several deadly waves, yet not even a single one in China. Large-scale vaccinations cannot be the answer. What about countries like Seychelles, UAE and Chile that vaccinated a large majority of their population and still failed to contain the spread? All of them had majorly relied on China's Sinopharm. Even Pakistan reportedly claimed the vaccine to be ineffective. How many more waves must the world endure? How many more deaths? How long before this miraculous Chinese secret is out? You decide.